Hello, and welcome back to Purpose of Heart, the podcast. Today we're going to talk about kind of like an interesting topic, which is the hidden cost of emotional reactivity. So there are some moments in life where reaction feels justified, right? You're misunderstood, you were overlooked, you were disrespected, you were disappointed. And before you even realize it, the words are out. The tone shifts, the energy changes, the atmosphere tightens. Emotional reactivity is fast. It feels powerful in the moment. It feels honest. It feels real. But what if the strongest response wasn't the fastest one? What if the hidden cost of emotional reactivity is greater than we realize? Scripture gives us this wisdom. He who is slow to wrath has great understanding, but he who is impulsive exalts folly. Proverbs 14:29. Slow to wrath, not emotionless, not passive, not indifferent. Slow. There is strength in slowness. The illusion of this is just how I am. Sometimes we justify reactivity by calling it personality. I'm passionate. I'm just expressive. I don't hold things in. And while authenticity matters, Scripture calls us higher than impulse. He who has no rule over his spirit is like a city broken down without walls. Proverbs 25:28. A city without walls is vulnerable, unprotected, exposed to attack. When our emotions rule us, we become spiritually and relationally exposed. Emotions are not enemies, but they are not meant to be leaders either. They're indicators, but they shouldn't be dictators. Emotional reactivity doesn't just release words, it releases consequences. A sharp response can fracture trust. A defensive tone can close hearts. A public outburst can damage credibility. A soft answer turns away wrath, but harsh word stirs up anger. Proverbs 15:1. Notice the power of a soft answer. Not weak. Soft. Measured and intentional. When someone brings intensity into a moment, we all have a choice. We can mirror it, or we can mature beyond it. One escalates, the other transforms. And often the hidden cost of reacting is not what you feel immediately, it's what lingers afterwards. Regret, distance, tension. A shift in how others perceive your leadership, your stability, or your discernment. Reactivity, it just doesn't affect others. It also disrupts you. After the surge of emotion fades and your nervous system is still unsettled, your mind can replay the moment. You justify it, then question it, then replay it again. Let's go back to 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. A sound mind. Not a spiraling one, not a reactive one, a grounded one. When we react impulsively, we temporarily surrender that soundness. And peace is expensive. Reactivity spends it quickly. Why do we react, though? Let's go a little bit deeper, because we often react not just because of that moment in time, although sometimes it could be, right? But sometimes we react because of what the moment touched. Unhealed wounds, past rejection, old disappointments, unresolved insecurity. The trigger feels current, but the root may be historical. Proverbs 4:23, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it springs the issues of life. Out of the heart, not out of the circumstance. When something erupts quickly, it may reveal something stored deeply. And this is not condemnation, it's an invitation for reflection and an invitation for healing. Jesus felt deeply. He wept, he grieved, he was moved with compassion, he overturned tables when necessary. But he was never controlled by emotion. When he was reviled, he did not revile in return. When he suffered, he did not threaten, but committed himself to him who judges righteously. 1 Peter 2:23. He did not revile in return, although he had the power to. He chose restraint. Restraint is not weakness. It's disciplined strength. A gap between the trigger and the response. Because there's always a gap. Sometimes it's seconds, sometimes it's a breath length. But that gap invites and lives transformation. James 1:19, so then, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. 3 intentional pauses. Listening, thinking, choosing. Emotional maturity is not about suppressing your feelings. It's about submitting them to wisdom. The leadership cost. If you lead in any capacity, family, ministry, business, medicine, community, reactivity carries multiplied weight. People feel your stability. They watch how you handle pressure. They observe how you respond when challenged. Proverbs 29:11, a fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man holds them back. Holding back is not suppression. It's discernment. It's knowing that timing matters, tone matters, delivery matters. Your credibility grows when your emotions are anchored. Choosing response over reaction. How do we shift? Here are some tools that we can use, right? Pause physically. Take a breath before speaking. Name what you're feeling, right? Are you angry? Are you embarrassed? Are you fearful or are you disappointed? Ask, what is this really about? Is it this moment or is it something deeper? Pray before responding, even silently. Psalm 51:10, create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. A steadfast spirit does not wobble with every emotional wave. It stands. The power of self-control. Self-control is not celebrated widely or loudly in culture, but it's deeply honored in Scripture. Galatians 5:22-23, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Self-control is fruit, which means it grows, it develops, it matures over time. And you may not be where you want to be, but growth is possible. And each moment you choose restraint over reaction, you strengthen that fruit. Freedom from regret. Imagine ending your day without replaying conversations. Imagine handling confrontation with calm clarity. Imagine responding so thoughtfully that even those who disagree respect you. That is possible. not through personality shifts, but through spiritual surrender. Proverbs 19:11, the discernment of a man makes him slow to anger, and his glory is to overlook a transgression. His glory, not his weakness. Overlooking is not ignoring injustice. It's refusing to give every irritation the power to control you. An invitation to growth. That if you recognize that there are some patterns of reactivity in yourself, you don't have to shrink in shame. You can grow in awareness. Awareness is the doorway to transformation. Ask the Lord to help you lengthen the gap between trigger and response. Ask Him to heal what gets touched so quickly. Ask Him to anchor you in peace. Isaiah 26:3, you will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. Perfect peace is not emotional numbness. It's alignment with trust, wisdom, maturity. Emotional reactivity can feel powerful in the moment, but steady composure builds lasting strength. You're not called to be ruled by impulse. You're called to be led by the Spirit. And when you begin choosing response over reaction, you will notice something beautiful. Your relationships deepen, your credibility strengthens, your peace stabilizes, and your influence expands. The hidden cost of reactivity is high, but the reward of restraint is greater. Until next time, my friends, may your heart grow steady, your spirit grow anchored, and your responses reflect the quiet strength that comes from walking closely with Him. Until next time, friends.